What if our comfort zone is not comfortable at all, but just familiar? A lot of us think that familiar means safe. So we tend to not challenge anything. We get into a routine, we do the same thing that we've always known. And then we find ourselves being stuck, unhappy, unfulfilled. And being familiar will actually keep you stuck in chaos a lot longer than what we should. In this episode, we're going to explore the difference between actual security and being comfortable and the illusion that we give ourselves. This one might just change your life. Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Keys to Healing. If you are new here, welcome. I'm Kiki. And if you're not, welcome back, right? So, on this episode, I want to talk about comfort zones because in today's world, 2025, it feels so easy to stick in a comfort zone. I don't even think it has to do with the year and the time that we're in. I think that we have come to a point where it's just easier to be in a comfort zone. It is just easier to be in a routine, whether you like it or you don't, because it's harder to change. Let's just be honest. Hard habits are hard to break. It's hard to change something that's always been. A lot of us parent the same way our parents parented, whether we like the way they parented or not. A lot of us eat the same foods that our family eats. A lot of us work the same jobs. A lot of us do the same thing because it's a part of the cycle we've always been raised in. And then we wonder why we're feeling unfulfilled, we're feeling unhappy, we're feeling like hopeless. We are looking for something and we have a void that we just can't seem to fill because we are stuck in the comfort zones. And it's really setting us back more than it's helping. And yes, it makes us feel like we're in control because we're in a routine and we're doing the norm of everybody around us and we should be happy. But you can't get different results doing the same thing that's already been done. So let's dive into that thought and that theory real quick. One thing about the comfort zones is, like I said, you can't expect something different when you never try anything new. A lot of us tend to stay into comfort zones because, again, it's familiar. We know what we know. Your family did it. You're doing it. Your kids are probably going to do it. It is easier to go along with something that has already shown better good. You know how it's going to work versus fearing going into the unknown. We fear change. We fear things that we don't know, and that will keep us in a comfort zone because you fear going out and doing the different thing because who's going to say something about it? What if my family doesn't accept this? What if the people think I'm strange? What if it doesn't work? I don't know what's on the other side of this. Sometimes it's simply because you do not know what the end result will be. And a comfort zone will keep you there because you know the end result of it. You know the end result of going through trauma back and forth, going through drama with your family, because guess what? Y'all do this every other month. Y'all fall out and then y'all be right back. And you may not like the cycle, but it's familiar with you. You're familiar with that. So you'll stay in it because you already know how this goes versus saying, you know what? I'm done with this. I want off the train. I want off this ride, this roller coaster ride. And I don't want to do this no more. That leaves you vulnerable because you don't know if the relationship will end. You don't know if the relationship will get stronger. You don't know if y'all will ever speak again or if it's going to be a big fallout after this. You don't know what to expect once you cut that cord and get out of the cycle of the comfortability of y'all being up and down, right? Same thing with parenting your kids. The way your parents parented you trying something different, you might not know how that's going to work out, but you know how your parents parented you and you know how you turned out. So I don't know. I don't want to gamble with my kids because one, that's not something that you're going to see instantly of what happened and what's wrong with them. that is something that only time is really going to tell if you messed up or you could have did things better. None of us are perfect parents, but a lot of us don't even really try to parent. We are stuck in what, again, we always know, we saw, we thought it was, without thinking or questioning, or even if we think and question it, we don't go after trying something a little bit different, right? So we stay comfortable for all these different reasons. You grew up this way. Families pass down more than just generational curses. Family pass down habits, eating habits, sleeping habits, mental health issues, mentalities, work. Certain people, everybody in their job work a specific type of job. It's known that everybody in this family is going to go to college. It's known that everybody in my family is a public service worker. Everybody in my family gets a trade. Everybody in my family does this thing. Everybody in my family is a sorority. Whatever the thing is, your family is known for. This is what everybody does, and you're going to follow suit, even if that might not be necessarily what you want to do, and you might not know what you want to do, but because it's what's already expected of us, we do it because it's the way we grew up. We know it's expected. We know we have to follow suit. Sometimes that can be okay. Sometimes it can keep us stuck. Sometimes it can lead to a mental breakdown later because you hit a certain age and you realize that you don't really know who you are. Sometimes being comfortable and sticking in your comfort zone robs you of learning who you really are. It robs you from being able to explore things for yourself and figure out, do I really like this or do I really not like this? Because I never got a chance to try. I tell my kids all the time, as a mom, how do you know you don't like something if we haven't really tried it? You got to try it first and say, I don't really like it. And not try it once, try it a few times, because the first time it's never going to feel good. Again, bad habits are hard to break. It's never going to feel good the first time. You got to try it a couple more times. I say at least try it 5 times, 3 to 5 times before you be like, yeah, this ain't for me. Because now you start to put yourself in a routine. You start to put yourself in, okay, you got out of the shock of trying something new, because the first time you try anything, it's just a shock of you trying it. Your brain is going through something mental because you also are reprogramming your mentality. So your brain is already fighting you because, girl, this is not what we do. This is not what we do. Go back, retreat. It's what it's going to tell you. We are uncomfortable. You're going to feel that uncomfortable and think, no, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Yes, you are. Go with it. Okay? You're going to go with it, and we're going to try it a couple more times, because the second time, guess what? You now are gaining what to expect from it. And now your perspective is changing and shifting. And you might find out the thing that you thought you wouldn't like, you actually like. I remember when I had my son and he started going to school. He's going to be 12, y'all. I'm not okay, but I digress. And he started getting up to school age. And I wanted to homeschool him originally. And everybody in my family was like, no, why would you do that? Let him go to school. He needs to be social. You're being too overprotective. That he has to get out. He can always be under your thumb, yada, yada, yada. Kids go to school, because everybody in my family went to public school. Everybody in my husband's family went to public school. It was a thing. Nobody in neither one of our families had ever been homeschooled. What does that look like? Your kid's going to be weird. Whoop, 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 blah. Long story short, I ended up putting him into school, and that went horribly wrong the first 2 years. The first year went horrible, absolutely horrible. The second year was a little bit better, but then COVID hit. So that's what ended up happening there. And then the third year, when he went into first grade, we kept him in school, and it was still COVID, so they did school over the computer. And it was still horrible. I got into it with the teacher, and that was his final year of school. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna homeschool him, right? We're gonna try it. This is the best time, we thought. And my husband always supported the thought, but again, our family, the pressure of Nobody does that in our family. Like, everybody just go to school. Like, why y'all gotta be different? Why y'all just send him to school, let the school do it, let the school handle it? But I never wanted to do that. So me stepping out on that face to figure out how to homeschool, again, I don't know how to homeschool. I've never seen nobody I knew one person as a child that was homeschooled, right? And I thought it was so cool. That's why I wanted to homeschool. And the backlash that I got from family more so was scary, but I had to take a chance to figure out if we were liking it. And if not, I can always re-enroll him in school. Still to this day, 6 years later, I am still at homeschooling mom. And sometimes, like I said, his first 3 years in school was pure HE double hockey sticks. That was because I didn't follow my gut. I knew I wanted to do something, but the fear of not knowing what I was doing, the fear of my family not fully supporting us, the fear of what everybody else had to say, and the judgment of my kid is going to be weird. Am I doing the right thing? Parent, as a mother, now my motherhood is being questioned of homeschooling my child. How is that? How am I going to feel? What if I mess up? What if I get it wrong? What if I set him back? All these thoughts are going through my head. And honestly, it's because I was in a comfort zone. Again, this is how we grew up. This is my background. This is my family. This is what we've always known. So that was the first step of us breaking out. And I say all of that to say is it's not going to be easy. The first year was a little awkward. It was a little weird. But the reward that came out of it was more than what I could ask for. I watched my baby come out of a shell that school couldn't bring him out of in 3 years, in 1 year of homeschool, right? So that fear that I once had of being able to do that, it gave me way more rewards at the end, even though it's not easy, which leads me to unmasking why a lot of us stay in comfort zones, right? A lot of us stay in comfort zones because it's hard. Again, it's always hard to leave the thing that's familiar to go to something that you don't know, that you don't know how the outcome is going to be. You don't know what's going to be on the other side. That is a scary feeling to not know. It's like being thrown in the pool and you don't know if this pool is going to be cold water, room temperature water, or like a jacuzzi and it's hot. Like, you don't know. You don't know how deep it is. You know nothing about this pool that you just got tossed into. That is what getting out your comfort zone really feels like. And it can feel like it sucks at first. That's why I say always try it 3 to 5 times. Fear keeps us back. The unknown keeps us back. Friends and family can keep us back. Sometimes you just have to be able to jump off that ledge. Sometimes you have to be able to be the curse breaker. Sometimes you have to be the first one to show this actually can be done, right? And it doesn't mean that what worked for them like is wrong. It just means something else. You found something else that works for you better, right? And the cost of us staying in those comfort zones is feeling unfulfilled. We always feel like we have to fill a void. We always feel a little bit of unhappiness. We always think of what if. What if I did it this way? What if I did it that way? But the fear of doing it, we start to talk ourselves out of it and tell ourselves we can't do it. We start to tell ourselves why. We start to talk to too many people, get too many other opinions and outside thoughts into ours and integrate their feelings and let them put their feelings and emotions on us. And now we're taking that on as our own and we don't even realize it. Some people are too scared to leave their mother's house right now as grown adults, or even stand up to their mother and raise their kids correctly because they got their mama telling them, oh, well, why would you go out into the world and do that when you'll be safe right here? And you're repeating it, not realizing that that's keeping you in a comfort zone. You are creating, and that also keeps y'all in generational curses. What do we think generational curses is when we really break down that word? Generational curses is nothing more than a pattern that you have always known that has been in your family line. as long as you can remember and they can remember and their parents can remember. Like, it's something that's constantly being passed down because nobody decides to get out the comfort zone and do something different. Nobody decides to step outside the box, and it ends up costing us our mental state. It ends up costing us the happiness that everybody is so-called searching for. It ends up costing us relationships, our marriages, our children, our fulfillment, our purpose in life. Like, it costs us a lot to stay in a comfort zone just because you fear the unknown. Again, familiar does not always mean safe. Familiar can mean chaos. Familiar can mean trauma. Familiar can mean unhappiness. Just because you're familiar does not mean it's for you, does not mean it's safe, does not mean that it's okay. We gotta stop normalizing it. I'm trying to stay on cue, y'all. So breaking habits are hard. You stay in a cycle of ultimately unhealthy. And also, you're raising your kids to also stay in those comfort zones. You can't tell your kid to try new things if you're not trying new things, right? So how do we do that? How do we start practicing to get out of these comfort zones? Because it's not like I'm gonna tell y'all this and then you're gonna wake up tomorrow and you're gonna be like, oh, I could do it. I hope you leave this video and you feel like that. I really do. But after that feeling goes away and you psych yourself up to do the thing, and then that fear sets in, like, girl, that's not what we're doing, because your brain is going to do it. It's a psychological fence that we put ourselves in. It's a psychological thing that we put ourselves in to where we may want to try. I don't believe anybody doesn't have the desire to try something different. Again, I think a lot of it is the fear to actually jump off the ledge and do it, and so little of us actually do. So you have to start trying something different. You want different results, you want a different life, you want different relationships, you want to be you have to start doing something different. And what that looks like is trying something new. That means that could be trying one new food every month. Like this year, I'm gonna try new foods. I'm gonna, like, whatever the foods that you've never tried, I'm gonna try that one new food, right? Once a month, I'm gonna try something new. Or sometimes it's going back to something old. It's going back to that thing that you liked as a child, but somebody told you that's not what we do. Somebody took that dream out of you. Somebody took that joy that you had of doing that thing away from you, because it made you feel like it wasn't normal. It made you feel like this is not what's happening around me and nobody's accepting this. It's not acceptable, so I'm not going to do that. And you stopped doing it. Go back to that childhood thing. What is that thing that you enjoyed doing as a child before somebody talked you out of it and made you feel like this was weird? What was that thing? Go back to doing that. Pick that up. Whether it was dancing, whether it was designing clothes, whether it was poetry, whether it was, you might be a science geek, like whatever that thing is. You might like to draw. You might like to, if people like have a lot of little weird quirks, you might invent it stuff. Like, it's a lot of things that you tap back into that inner child and pick that one thing back up, right? It could have been baking, whatever. Pick it back up and try it. Give yourself 3 months. Give yourself 2 months to do it and keep at it and see how you feel afterwards. I'm not going to, like, we stopped eating pork. My whole family eat pork. My husband's whole family eat pork. Everybody look at us to this day. I ain't ate pork in over 12 years. People will still look at me and be like, you don't eat pork? No. And that is something different because my health, everybody in my family has health issues. I don't want to be the next one with health issues. I already started having health issues young, so let me change my diet. Sometimes that's the comfort zone we in. Change my diet. Let me eat more fruits and vegetables. Let me go organic. Let me eat organic for a month and let me see how my body feels. right? Let me, instead of taking over-the-counter drugs and medication, let me try the herbal route and see how that feels. Let me find natural ways to be able to heal my body. Let me stop eating breakfast and let me start fasting in the mornings and start eating at 12, and I'd have a certain type of lunch. Those are new things. It doesn't have to be anything big and grand. It don't have to be nothing that costs you a whole lot of money. You don't have to go pick up a new class to start exercising. It could be something as simple as your diet. Look at how everybody eats around you. Do you eat out a lot? Do you eat a lot of fast food? It could be, I'm not gonna actually drink before I go somewhere. I want to be sober. That's a new thing. Whatever the new thing is to get you outside your norm, I'm gonna go somewhere by myself. I'm gonna go take myself out to eat, and I'm gonna eat by myself. I'm not gonna go nowhere. I'm not gonna go with nobody. I'm gonna take a book and I'm gonna read. I'm gonna disconnect from social media. I'm gonna take myself out and I'm gonna read a book. Or I'm gonna take my notebook and I'm just gonna journal and write. Whatever that new thing is, do that new thing and keep doing that new thing for, I say, at least 2 to 3 months. Really don't want you to push for 3 months though, okay? And I just want to challenge you to really examine your life, because being in a comfort zone also helps you build your self-awareness. It helps you start to understand the things that you want versus the things that the world wants. And we have to understand that we cannot be of the world, and we shouldn't be of the world. If everybody around you is doing the same things, 9 times out of 10, you are too. And sometimes that's okay, but your question to yourself is, do I like this? Do I like doing the things? And just because they're doing it doesn't mean that you have a problem with them doing it, but is it okay for you? That's the question. And it starts to build your self-awareness of who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you stand for, where your moral compass is. How much do you care about your own self? Are you going along to get along just to keep everything okay? Because a lot of us stay in comfort zones too because we don't want to rock the boat without realizing the ship is already about to sink, regardless of if you rock it anymore or not. You are already in unsafe water and territory. So you might as well go ahead and rock it, and maybe you can save your own self. Don't let yourself drown trying to make other people comfortable. Are you comfortable? Do you really feel a sense of peace in your life? Are you living your life on your own terms? That's the question I want you to take away from this today. Are you living your life on your own terms? Is it you or is it your mama? Are these your thoughts or is the thoughts of your family for generations and generations? Is it your thoughts or is it the thoughts of the news? Is it your thoughts or if it's the thoughts of the expectations that the world has put on you to make you feel like and believe that this is what you have to do to make it, to get ahead, to be happy, to be accepted? Because let's be real, sometimes we're in a comfort zone just because we want to be accepted by the world and the people around us, and people sometimes that you don't even know. You're seeking approval from folks that don't know if you're alive or not. Realistically, in the internet era that we're in, it's easy to get stuck in routines. It's easy to get stuck in what everybody else is doing. It's easy to get stuck in, well, this is what's happening and I'm just gonna be a part of it. But are you okay with where you are in life? All right, y'all. I want you in the comments. I want to challenge you to drop one area in your life that you're going to try something new. All right. I want to hear. I've tried a lot of new things in recent years, from like I said, homeschooling my son, going fully organic, my diet. Last year I did try a new food. Not every month, but every few months I probably try at least I think about 5 or 6 new dishes last year, from just different cultures. Like that was really fun. Um, I want to. What area in your life will you try something different, or you think that you're stuck in a comfort zone and you might need to shake things up a little bit? Are you living on your own terms? Change your mindset. Let's start reprogramming our mindset and not let fear take over, because familiar is not safe. All right. And with that, y'all, I'm Kiki. In the meantime and in between time, remember that you are the key to unlocking your dreams. Remember, her life, live dreams. Bye, y'all.